The Milky stork is a stork species, predominantly in coastal mangroves around parts of Southeast Asia. Milky stork has most recently been assessed for the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species in 2023.
Classification for species Milky stork. Domain Eukarya, Kingdom Animalia, Phylum Chordata, Class Apes, Order Syconiiformes, Family Syconiidae, Genus Macteria, scientific name Macteria cinerea. In Malay, we call it as a burung botak ubi. Geographical range of Milky stork. For your information, Milky stork lived at mangrove forests, moist lowland forests, and coastal breakage. This species can be restricted found in Southeast Asia such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Vietnam. More specifically, in Indonesia, Milky stork can be found at Sumatra, Java, Sulawesi, Bali, Sumbawa, Lombok, and Bhutan. Next is at Cambodia and southern Vietnam at Vietnam. The last one is Malaysia, where it can be found in eastern Malaysia.
There are multiple aspects in Milky stork's ecology. Next, we will talk about the Milky stork's diet. There are a variety of animals consumed by Milky storks, but some examples are prawn, eel catfish, and mudskipper. Meanwhile, in reproduction, Milky storks will choose tall and mature trees for their nesting. For nesting, like in Praktol Ramsar site in Cambodia, their peak nesting usually occurs between February and April.
Now on to habitat. Milky stork were once widespread throughout Southeast Asia, but now Milky storks are limited to a few locations such as Praktol Ramsar site in Cambodia and the Matang mangrove forest in Perak. According to IUCN Red List, Milky stork lives mostly along the coast in Malaysia and Indonesia, where it inhabits close to less salinized swamps and mangroves. The bird can also be found in the flooded forests inland around Tono Sap Lake in Cambodia. During rainy seasons, they may even migrate to the coast. Milky stork has an inclination towards tropical environment. That is why mangrove forests, freshwater and peat swamps, wetlands and estuaries are their usual preferred habitats. They have a preference of mature, tall trees that are close to bodies of water for nesting and hunting. Now, on to the reintroduction to habitat. The pest wars in Vietnam has decimated the population of Milky stork. However, recently, the Milky stork has been reintroduced due to the recent reforestation. In 1998, 10 captive-bred individuals were used for the first reintroduction of Milky stork, which occurred in Kuala Selangor Nature Park, which is in Malaysia. It was not successful, however. The reason was not known at the time. More attempts have been made over the years. In 2010, the first successful breeding of Milky stork has occurred, resulting in 2 baby chicks. However, following breeding attempts have been relatively unsuccessful. It's later discovered that through strenuous observation that a vast area covered with tall and mature mangrove trees are extremely important for Milky stork breeding and nesting.
Conservation status according IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. This species is endangered species endemic to Southeast Asia region.
Okay, now let's talk about the threats to the species. The first threat is residential and commercial development. Historically, the conversion of mangrove habitats to agriculture and development projects caused the decline through the direct removal of breeding sites as well as the associated impact to disturbance. The second threat is agriculture and aquaculture. Both agriculture expansion and intensive agriculture often require clearing mangrove for land or pond creation. This directly destroys the Milky stork critical breeding and feeding ground, reducing their overall habitat availability. Agriculture runoff and fertilizer can pollute waterway and leading to eutrophication, and algal bloom. These harm the water quality and reduce fish and shellfish population, the milky stork primary food source. Next is the biological resource use. Hunting is the main problem for this issue. To illegal hunting of milky stork, particularly for their feathers and cheek, persists in some areas, adding to population decline. Next is human intrusion and disturbance. Human likely to do illegal wildlife trade to the species. The milky stork feathers and cheeks are prized in some part of Southeast Asia, leading to illegal hunting and eggs collection. This can have a devastating impact on small isolated population. Lastly, invasive species, gene, and disease, one of the threats to the milky stork. The greatest threat to this species in future is that posed by genetic swamping of Micteria leucocephala. In Kuala Lumpur, this is clearly a critical risk to reintroduction attempt, while in Singapore, there is now conclusive genomic evidence that both species are hybridizing freely in population that is considered to be feral. Given the close proximity of this genetically admixed population to the species stronghold in Sumatra, there is a risk of future genomic leakage of Micteria leucocephala into a larger percentage of global population of Micteria cinerea.
Now, let me explain about conservation action. First, habitat protection. Malaysian scientists and NGOs are collaborate to protect vital habitat for milky stork by establishing and maintaining protected places like Kuala Gula Bird Sanctuary. Next, community involvement. Engaging local communities through initiatives like Malaysian Nature Society's education programs. It also helps fostering a sense of responsibility and sustainable coexistence. Third, research and monitoring. Conducting studies on milky stork population and behavior, exemplified by research collaboration between Malaysian scientists, NGOs, and international partners. Next, establishment of buffer zones. They create buffer zones to help mitigate the negative impacts from continuous anthropogenic activities and increasing pollution-causing activities along Kuala Gula coastal area. Last but not least is awareness campaigns. In 1998, Milky Stork Introduction Program was carried out at Kuala Selangor Nature Park. 9 years later, another reintroduction program was carried out in Kuala Gula Bird Sanctuary in Perak. These programs help to raise public awareness about milky storks and explain about their ecological importance and conservation needs.